Hey guys, and welcome to a super special episode of Teenager Who Cooks. Today is the 300 subscriber special, and because of that, I'll be taking a fan request to make chicken pot pie. So, chicken pot pie is something that all of my classmates have been joking about for a long time, because one time we were playing this game, and then I ate a piece of chicken pot pie, and then they all said I was being bad. So now I'm going to make chicken pot pie to show them how it's done. So let's get started first with the pie crust. Today we're going to be making an all butter pie crust as opposed to like stuff with shortening, because I don't have shortening and I don't know where to buy that. So I'm just going to make an all butter pie crust. You can see I have 1 cup of butter here, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, and then I also have 2.5 cups of flour. And finally, the most important part is I have about half a cup of ice water. And you want to make sure you definitely get enough ice in there. Make sure it's ice cold so you can make your pie crust. Because if it's not ice cold, then your butter will melt before it actually gets in the oven, and you won't have that flaky, delicious pie crust that everybody wants. Okay, so I'm going to add my flour with the rest of my dry ingredients, just the sugar and salt, into my handy dandy food processor. Sugar and salt has been added into the food processor along with the flour, and I'm just going to pulse it a few times just so it's combined. Just like that. And on top of that, I'm going to add my cubed butter. Now I put this butter into the freezer for like maybe 20 minutes before I started making the pie crust, so it's also really cold. We want to ensure that the butter does not melt. So now I'm just going to post it or just turn on the food processor until we have small bits of flour covered butter. So now that you can see, I have the butter has been cut up into these tiny little pieces that are covered with flour. We're starting to add our ice water. So I'm just gonna add like maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons at a time. And then you're just going to want to do it until basically the pie crust actually forms up. So I have my dough ball here. It has formed, and you can see that there's little white specks of butter everywhere in it because the butter hasn't completely melted. So we're just gonna hurry up and try to get it combined a little bit, and then we're going to split it up into however many pie crusts you need. So I'm going to split it up into 4 chunks. So I have my beautiful dough cutter here. Just going to go down the middle and down the middle again, and then we have these beautiful chunks of pie crust, and then we're just gonna wrap these up with plastic wrap and put them in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours. You want to make sure they have a good resting, so hurry up and put them in the fridge or else the butter will melt. That's not good. Alright, it's time to make our chicken pot pie filling. So I have boiled my chicken breast, my carrots, and my celery. Just boiled them in plain water for 12 minutes. Very simple. And then now I'm going to go ahead and prepare the gravy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add in, this is 1/3 cup of butter. I'm going to first let the butter melt in the pan or the pot. Our butter is melted, so I'm going to now add in garlic and onions. And then we're just going to fry this until until the onion looks cooked and is translucent. So our onion, garlic, and butter seems to be pretty cooked. You can smell the aroma wafting out of the pot already. So now I'm gonna add in the rest of the ingredients for my gravy. So here I have 2/3 cup of half and half. Add that in carefully. I have 1/3 cup of flour. And then we have 1 3/4 cup of chicken broth. And now we're just going to mix this together until there's no chunks of flour left. And we want to simmer it until it's really thick. The thicker the gravy is, the better. So my gravy has thickened a lot. It's been about 10 minutes. You want to simmer it on like medium-low heat for that long. And I have seasoned this with salt and black pepper. You can add some other seasonings if you want. And then now I'm just going to add in some frozen corn. This is like half a cup of frozen corn. And then there's like half a cup of frozen peas. We'll just mix these in. And then finally, we'll add in our boiled chicken and carrots and celery from earlier. Now we'll mix this up. And honestly, this just on its own already makes a really tasty soup. Super hearty, super thick. But we are going to put it into our amazing chicken pot pie. So mix it up. And then now we can basically go and prepare our pie crusts for bake. So I have my pie dough here that I just took out of the fridge. It's looking very nice with specks of butter in it. Now I'm just gonna divide it into half roughly. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just kind of form into a ball. I'm going to squish it down, and then I'm just going to roll it out. And depending on the size of your pie plates, it's gonna be different. I have 4-inch pie plates, you can see here. So I'm just gonna roll it out to about 6 inches. And with this handy dandy mat, I can measure that easily. So I've rolled it out. I actually almost have a little bit too much dough, so it's about 7 inches, but that's okay. You can just trim off the edges. So I put a little bit of like a non-stick spray in this pan, and now I'm just going to set my pie crust inside. You can see that it fits super well. Now just like press down on the edges. And then you're just going to fold over the sides and then trim them off with a knife. And then you can see here, I don't have enough, so I'll just take some from over here and patch it up. Very nice. Alright guys, so we have made all our pie crusts, our pie tops. Now I'm going to start spooning this gravy into our pies. Now this smells and looks amazing. I'd highly suggest adding carrots and corn and something green, just so you get that nice color contrast that really makes you seem much more professional. So we're just gonna slowly add our gravy into every single individual pie. So our gravy is in the pies. It's looking really good. Now all that's left is to cover them with these tops. And then we'll want to crimp the edges. Now you can do this in a lot of different ways. The easiest way is just to take your fork and go along the edges and press the pie dough into the other pie dough. And then that will ensure you have a really nice seal. So you can see here, I have some left over on the edges from the crust on the bottom. So I'm just gonna fold that over with the top pie cover till we get this nice little, almost like a pizza crust type thing. And then with our fork, we're just going to press it down. And then once you've finished closing up all the edges of your pies, you can just make some small incisions in the top just to let the steam escape while baking. I'm going to take my egg wash now. This is just an egg. I beat it. Yeah. And then I'm going to lightly brush it on every single pie. Make sure it's all covered. This just gives it a nice golden color. Now these are going in the oven for about 30 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Just make sure you check that they're golden brown. So I'm gonna open the oven first. Alright guys, this is a super exciting moment. Our pot pies are ready. I covered them with aluminum foil earlier, about like maybe 20 minutes in, just to prevent them from overcooking on the top. And I'm about to take them out. Oh my god, they look so amazing. That beautiful golden brown top. Dang, that looks good. I'm gonna have to wait 10 minutes just so they can cool down before I can dig in and eat. I dig into my chicken pot pie. It's perfect little serving size. If you hit it, you can hear how like sturdy it is, but then it's also so flaky on the top. Absolutely amazing. I'm gonna cut into it. Oh yeah. The smell of the chicken inside. Oh, so soupy and good. Let's see. Oh, not much chicken came out, but you can see that crust perfectly holding its shape up. It's a really nice contrasting texture with the gravy. So buttery and delicious, and you still get that crispiness even though it's right on top of that nice gravy. Here's the chicken. Super duper tender, super juicy, has a lot of flavor, and with that garlic, the onion, all the other veggies, it's seasoned super well as well, and this is just an amazing dish. You can have this for lunch, make it for dinner, impress your family and friends. This is absolutely amazing. And you can freeze these and reheat them later if you want to. So they're super versatile and absolutely amazing tasting. So make sure everybody to go and make this at home. It's super easy. Takes only like a few hours, and then you can heat it up during your school lunch, because like we're all at home right now, and then play Among Us with your friends while eating chicken pot pie. It'll be super awesome. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.